Next comic coming to the stage, he's a great friend of mine. He plays all over town. He's currently in a show called the Midlife Meltdown Comedy Tour that he's producing and starring in. Ed Ayers, everybody.
I went to my doctor last week for a physical. He didn't even say anything. He wrote a prescription for Viagra. He said, with this pill, you could have sex with a 20-year-old. I said, good. Now give me a pill that'll make a 20-year-old want to have sex with me. And isn't it a bitter irony that Viagra now comes in soft tabs? Have you been to the doctor lately? Man, it has changed. No more sitting down with old Doc Martin. No, you got one sweaty, palpitating man running from room to room going, you've got gout, you've got hemorrhoids, you've got hammer toes. This is not a diagnosis, it's a drive-by. It's a drive-by. You know, the doctors have it figured out that they can only give you 7 minutes of their time and still make money. Isn't that something? I was waiting in the examination room, and in walks this woman doctor, you know, about 30, 35 years old. I walked out. There's no way I can hold in this stomach for 6 minutes. So I'm a member of the baby boom generation, and like us or hate us, you have to admit we did change things. And I mean, God, look what was going on at the time. Things had to be changed. I mean, we had a Texan was president. We were stuck in a never-ending war overseas. Well, we're changing everything. We're even changing what it means to get old. Do you realize we're going to be the first generation of grandparents that can roll a joint better than their grandkids? And you know, they say you shrink as you get older. Do you realize poor Mick Jagger, with those lips and that hair, in a few years, he's going to look like a largemouth bass in a wig? Now, sex, drugs, rock and roll was our motto, and I still live by it. The problem is now I need the drugs to have sex, and I can rock or roll, not both. Wednesday I rock, Friday I roll. I've been married to the same woman for 30 years. And I know what you're thinking, because sooner or later you're going to ask me, you're going to say, Ed, how do you keep sex interesting with the same woman for 30 years? You have to get a little, you know, imaginative. Like, we use role play. Like last night, she was the corpse, I was the necrophiliac. Great. Let's face it, at this stage of the game, the only three-way I'm ever going to have is on a conference call. You know, I'm married to, my wife's Italian. Well, she's actually Sicilian. You know, that little island off the coast of Italy shaped like a grudge? And she's very possessive. She's, matter of fact, she can't stand the thought of me dating if she dies first. So she's got this plan for us to commit suicide together. And she wants to do it in a very dramatic fashion, like Thelma and Louise, you know, drive over the cliff in a convertible. But with her, it has to be a Jaguar convertible. Now, I don't have a Jaguar, and I wouldn't spend money on one and then drive over a cliff with it. But I would take one out for a test drive. And then I thought, you know, God, you know, today the car salesman comes on the drive with me. Well, that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah. So, you know, one of the nice things about getting older is you learn to love yourself. The problem is I'm starting to hate everybody else. Some people really make it easy to hate them. You know what I mean? Like I was standing online in Staples last week, and there was this guy online holding up the whole line, and he couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to pay with a credit card or cash. And he didn't want to pay with the credit card because he didn't want to sign that little digital pad thing, you know. And he was going on and on. He said, "Well, have my signature in the database. It'll be in the database. Then they can do anything they want with it. Do you realize that 15 million Americans are victims of identity theft every year? And I said, yeah, but who would want to be you? Now, as you get older, there are some trends you can't stand, and the one I hate the most is karaoke. You know, it's not so bad if you can really sing, you know, but most people can't, and they're drunk, and they're slurring the words to the song. I liked it better the way I did it. If I had a friend who was drunk and slurred the words to a song, I pushed him out of the car. And the worst part is they always pick the hardest songs to sing, these people. Like a Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You. If I wanted to hear somebody slur the words to a Whitney Houston song, I'd go hear Whitney sing it herself.